Hello students, welcome to another session on online classes. Today we'll be starting with the topic analysis of bivariate data under the subheading known as correlation and regression, and it is presented by Shantala Kulkarni, Department of Statistics, Gupta PU College of Commerce and Science, Belgavi. Now before I begin with the analysis of bivariate data is nothing but we will be dealing with two variables x and y. So the first topic what we are going to start here will be correlation, and then later we will be starting with regression. So first let us see what is the introduction. So far we have confined ourselves to univariate distributions, that is the distribution involving only one variable. When data regarding two or more variables are available, we may have to study the relative variation of these variables. For example, there exists some relationship between the height of son and height of father, or price of a commodity and amount of goods demanded, examination scores of a student and the number of hours of studies, etc. If the variables show related variations, they are said to be correlated. So correlation, what is correlation? The definition says correlation is a statistical device which helps in analyzing the covariation of two or more variables. See, suppose two variables, height is a variable, weight is a variable. Suppose if you want to find the relation or correlation between these two variables, that is known, or it is known as correlation. When you are going to study between more than two variables, that is known as correlation. And correlation may be of three different types, that is simple correlation, multiple correlation and partial correlation. Simple correlation is only concerned with the related variation between two related variables. Multiple and partial correlation concern with the related variation among three or more variables. In multiple correlation, three or more variables are studied simultaneously. In partial correlation, we recognize more than two variables but consider only two variables to be influencing each other, and the effect of influencing variables being kept constant. Now, for example, two variables are, let us deal with this particular example. When the variable x and y are correlated, there may be three types of relation. X is the cause and y is the effect. X is the effect, y is the cause. X and y are the effects of some other causes. So it will be explained in detail. For example, see these examples here. The first example here, rainfall can be the cause and yield of paddy or yield of rice can be the effect. See, if there is a good rainfall, the yield of paddy will be good. That is the effect, that is the outcome. Price is the effect and demand is the cause. Like if the price is too high, the demand will be less, and if the price is too low, the demand will be more. The third one, yield per acre of rice or tea are both effects of rainfall. A cause and effect relationship between two variables is called causation. Now let us see some more examples. Production and price of electronic goods show causation. Here an increase in production causes decrease in price. Yes. Anything, if the production is more, naturally the price is going to decrease. Increased demand and price of commodity. Here increased demand of a commodity due to growth of population causes increase in price. Even when there is absence of causation, variables may show correlation. For instance, population of India, population of China in different years show correlated variation, but they do not show cause and effect relationship. Sales of pigs, sales of pig iron show correlated variation, but there is no causation, there is no cause and effect. For us, it is very much important that we need to have a cause and effect. So thus, correlation in the absence of causation is called nonsense correlation or spurious correlation. So the correlation doesn't necessarily imply causation, but the existence of causation always implies correlation. Now we'll see what are the uses of correlation. See, first one, it is with the help of correlation analysis we can measure the degree of relationship that exists between two variables. Second, once we know that two variables are related, we can estimate the value of one variable for a given value of the other variable. Third one is progressive development in the methods of science and philosophy has been characterized by the rich knowledge of relationship In nature also one finds multiplicity of interrelated forces. Then the fourth one, the purpose of the study of correlation is to reduce the range of uncertainty in any field by studying the relationship between the variables. The predictions based on correlation analysis are likely to be more reliable and realistic. Correlation analysis is useful in economic field and business. So these are the uses or significance of study of correlation. Now you will see what are the types of correlation you will be studying. The first one, positive correlation. Positive correlation means if the variables are changing in the same direction, means they will increase or decrease together in the same, that is known as positive or direct. Let us take an example. The height and weight of a group of persons. The height is also increasing, the weight is also increasing, and the height is also increasing. Income and expenditure of different families. The more income, the more expenses it will be. That is positive. Means if X is increasing, even Y will increase. If X is decreasing, even Y will decrease. What is negative correlation? If the variables vary in the opposite directions, that is if one variable increases then the other variable decreases, it's in the opposite order, it is called as negative or inverse correlation. For example, the sales of woolen garments and atmospheric temperature. The more woolen garments are being sold, the lesser the atmospheric temperature is going to be. Then the production and price of vegetables. The more the production is going to be, lesser the price of the vegetables will be. Non-correlation means absolutely there is no relation between X and Y. It's totally there is no relation. And the examples are purchasing power of money and atmospheric temperature, sales of umbrella and sales of student notebook. So these are the examples which you need to go through carefully. Next comes perfect correlation. Perfect correlation means if the variables vary in the same proportion, that is the variables show exact linear. Linear is nothing but a straight line relationship. Then the correlation is said to be perfect. Perfect correlation may be positive or negative. So 10% increase in X leads to 10% increase in Y, means exact. If 5% increase is there in X, means exactly 5% increase will be in Y. Or 5% decreases in X, exactly 5% decrease will be in Y. For example, correlation is perfect negative when the variation are in the same proportion but in opposite direction. Yes, 5% increase in X leads to 5% decrease in Y. That's a negative perfect correlation. Measurement of correlation. Now see what are the formulas you will be using to measure correlation. The first one is the scatter diagram. The second is the Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, and the third is the Spearman's coefficient of rank correlation. Scatter diagram, like you will show the whole thing in the form of a diagram. How it is, what is a perfect positive correlation, what is a perfect negative correlation. One by one we will be doing it, and today we will be seeing what is scatter diagram. See in this scatter diagram, see this first diagram, this is a perfect positive correlation, means it's a perfect straight line, R is equal to +1. The value of R will be equal to +1, and correlation is represented by small r. Perfect negative is R is equal to -1, means it's in the negative direction. So this is the positive direction and this is the negative. When you join the X and Y or you plot the graph, this is how the diagram you get. The next one, see now the third one, higher positive correlation, there is slanting towards the positive direction. Higher negative correlation, there is a slanting towards the negative side, the negative values. So this is known as higher positive correlation and higher negative correlation. And sometimes when you plot the points, like it's a lot of random points are there, hardly you find any inclination towards the right or the left. So that is called as lower degree positive correlation and lower degree negative correlation. And the next one, where absolutely everything are independent, it's haphazard, it's not in a relationship, it's random. So this is called as no correlation or spurious correlation. Then any other curve form of arrangement of plotted points indicates curvilinear relation between the variables. Okay. Now we will like to see the merits and demerits. It is a simple, the merits and demerits of scatter diagram, of course. It is a simple and non-mathematical method of studying correlation between the variables. It is not influenced by the size of extreme items, whereas most of the mathematical methods of finding correlations are influenced by extreme items. Making a scatter diagram usually is the first step in investigating the relationship between two variables. Now, what is the demerit? There is only one. By applying this method, we can get an idea about the direction of the correlation and also whether it is high or low. But we cannot establish the exact degree of correlation between the variables. Now see children, basically correlation is going to deal with the two variables. In analysis of univariate, there was only one variable, there was only x, and then you had the f. But here you are having x and y, two variables will be into consideration. Now, that's why it is analysis of bivariate data. First topic is correlation, and today you studied the definition, then the uses of correlation, and then the next you saw the scatter diagram. There are three different formulas or methods to calculate correlation. Scatter diagram by Karl Pearson's coefficient of correlation, then the third one is Pearman's coefficient of rank correlation. So today you did with scatter diagram. In the next class we will be dealing with the next method. Thank you.